We're live. Hello, everybody. Okay, here we are again. So I'm changing it up a little bit tonight. Oops, I'm freezing. Freezing up, not a good thing. Um, okay. Well, we'll try it again. Hi, everybody. Gonna change it up a little bit tonight. We've been doing Christmas all along. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. And you know what? I decided that Thanksgiving's coming up in what, a week? So let's do a Thanksgiving card because there is a really pretty set. Hi, Connie. And it's featured in the catalog. Carol, hello. Called Autumn Expressions. And what was funny is I hadn't gotten this set in the beginning, so I didn't have it to do any Thanksgiving stuff. And I kept looking at it, and going, wow, that really is kind of pretty. So I decided to get it and try it. And so that's what we're going to work with tonight. And I'm going to confess, I did not prep this ahead of time very well. So I decided I'm going to case the catalog. Yep, I'm going to copy what is in the catalog and take it from there. As far as announcements go, the online exclusives are still on for right now. You have to go online to look at them. There's a couple new kits. One of them is watercolor pencils, and it has a watercolor thing with it, a watercolor pen. It's really kind of pretty. Um, it has some nice heavy duty paper. In fact, let me see if I think I might have it right here in front of me, actually. See if I do, and I can show it to you. Yes, I do. So with this kit, let me just hold it up here, show it to you. So you get these watercolor pencils. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight pencils, and you get a watercolor pen, and then you get this book, which has two of each of different designs. You get us four different designs that you would color, and then it's like I said, the paper is extra heavy. It is watercolor paper, and I keep freezing up. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, you can use your water to over top of the watercolor pencils to make it look like you've done a watercolor painting. So it's a very nice set. Hi, Susie. And I'm going to tell you, I think this makes a great gift. So if you're looking for some Christmas gifts for some craftsy or creative people, I do believe this is a good one. It's $25 for the kit. And, as always, it comes in a neat little box all ready for you to wrap up and play Santa with. So there's that. If you're a demonstrator, you also have access right now to the celebration coming up in January and the mini catalog that's coming up in January. Now they had told us, oh, I know, Susie. I think it's so cool. I really do like the kit, and I ordered a couple for presents, but I also ordered one for me, so I can play with it too. Maybe I'll even do that on a live sometime, just to show everybody how it works, because I think that would be kind of cool. Don't you? Okay. So anyway, we're gonna do fall tonight. Um, I decided to change it up from Christmas and get into this, and I'm copying the catalog. I am doing. This is from our current mini catalog. So, in fact, I'll hold it over here. This is easier to see. I'm going to do that card, and I'm going to do one kind of like this card. And I'm going to show you all the pieces of this kit because it really does have a lot. I mean, this bundle, because it really does have a lot of neat things in it. And, it's just ready for Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, next week is Thanksgiving. As you all know, it's Thursday. Wednesday is our Warnersville Library Day. And yes, the library is open until 4 o'clock. So I will absolutely have class at the Warnersville Library on the 27th, Wednesday, just in case you were wondering. As for the December class, I'm going to go by signups only. If people sign up for it, I'm sorry, the December evening, the beginning of December evening class. So that would be December, let me see, December when? 4th. Okay, so that would be the 5 to 7 class. I'm going to go by signups. If I don't get any signups, I'm not going to have the class. If I get some people signing up for it, I'll have the class. So I'm going to coordinate that with the library. So if you're interested in evening class on Wednesday at the library, got to sign up. Other than that, let's get into this card. Now, like I said, I did not do a whole lot of good prep for this. So I kind of have it sort of figured out what I'm doing with it. So we'll take it from there. How does that sound to you? I hope that sounds good because that's what we're doing. All right. So I'm starting out with the first one. I didn't finish this one. Okay. I'm going to finish it as we go. Yep. Okay. I'm going to finish it as we go. I'm going to show you, though, before we start, I want to show you some cool stuff. Here's the stamp set. And it has some nice things in it. Grateful for you. Change can be beautiful. Have a perfectly lovely day. And then, of course, there's these nice, I think that one's a good one for the inside. May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy. So it's an encouraging set. It's a nice set. And then, of course, we have the dies to go with it. And it has this funky die. Now, I'm going to use the die, but not absolutely for its intended purpose. It kind of looks like, to me, it looks like a purse. And I believe, let me show you, they actually kind of intend it to look like a purse, which I don't, I guess you could use that as a frame for a little picture and hang it on a wall. That might look kind of cool. But I'm going to use it more for a picture frame tonight. So that's what we're doing here. Hey, Karen and Brenda, hi. So I'm going to cut myself out now because there. Oh, I hear Joey. Hi, Joey. Joey came to visit. So, okay, back on track. so I have cut the things out already. So let's just get started. And as we go, I'm going to show you all the stuff that goes with this set that just makes it wonderful for what you want to do. Okay, so Stampin' Up! Has been coming up with these different scenery papers, and this is the fall one. It's called Splendid Autumn. And it's 6x6, and it has some really pretty scenes in it. So for tonight's, let's see. No, I'm only using the one. I'm using this one. And on the backs, it just has colors, which can guide you for your colors that you use with it, or you could use it for a background. I mean, it's some very pretty colors. Sure. So what I'm using those daisies. I'm using wild wheat here, and I'm starting with my standard card base, and I don't have the daisies. Oh, look at that one. Isn't that pretty? See, I like a lot of these. They're really nice, but I don't know. Those aren't really even daisies. They're almost months, I guess. 'Cause they're definitely a full color. So I'm going to cut that. I have my standard card base for 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And then I'm going to take my Daisy Designer Series paper and I'm going to cut it 4. And I want to get this as my main piece. So I'm flipping it around a little bit. And I want it 4, and actually I'm going to take it over to 4 1/8 because I don't want to put a huge border around it. So it's little like 4 by a little bit more than 4 by 5.25. And again, I'm taking it just a little bit over 5.25. Keep these pieces that you cut off because they're going on the inside. So don't get rid of them. Keep them handy. Okay, and then I'm putting that. I'm going to glue that right down because there's no reason I can't. See this? The lovely color on the back is what told me to use wild wheat for my card base. I just went with that. You ordered, Karen, you ordered the paint, watercolor paint kit for your granddaughter. I think that's a terrific kit for gifts. It really, really, it's a perfect gift. Okay, so next I'm taking another piece of wild wheat and I'm cutting it 3 by 3.25. Yeah, there's a scrap, kind of. Three by 3.25. Now this piece is going to be my background piece, but I am going to use, I'm stamping it with the Sketched Plaid background stamp. And to use that, I'm using my gosh, I don't even remember what they call these things, but it's what I'm using. It's Stampin' Up used to have one too, and I cannot remember what it's called. But if you don't happen to have a really large block and you have one of these, oh, it's a Misty. That's what it's called. Um, if you have one of these, don't bother with the big block because you don't need it. This is perfect. So what you have to do with this, I'm taking crushed curry and I'm just going to put some ink in the middle of the stamp, like so. And flip this over and put it down, and there you have it. And that's why I think I've told you before, I take one of my chamois and cut it into pieces to use for stuff like this because then I can just pull out a corner and dab off the ink just to clean that off. Yes, Stampin' Up had one of these too, and I actually have it, but it's bigger. I like this little small compact size. I enjoy that a lot. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We're going to take our piece that we stamped the plaid on. We're going to take our front and we're going to glue that right on there. And we're gluing it that way. Try to leave as much. I love the paper, so I don't want to hide it too much. That's why I cut this as small as I possibly could. And I'm going to put right down there. Then I cut. Now let me show you how this works out. Okay, I cut this for my frame. What happens when you cut this is you cut it like this, okay? And then you fold it in half And that's where your little purse thing comes from. You can put a picture or whatever inside there, or you can just cut this right down there where you fold it and make it into two frames, which is what I've done here. Now, when you cut this with this die, you're going to get a piece here and you're going to get the frame. So you're going to get, it's going to be connected. If you cut it with this, you're going to actually end up with four pieces. I like that. Yes, Stamparatus, Connie. That's it. Gosh, that just escaped me. By the way, Connie, we did sign up for that retirement Christmas party at Carpenter. Just wanted to mention that to you. John asked me several times, "Did you sign up for that yet?" And so I did. Let's see. So we cut that. When we cut that, we end up with these. And we also want to cut one of these because we're going to put that on top like it's holding it up. And I also cut a background, which I have somewhere. Okay. I did cut a background and it's not showing itself at the moment. So this piece right here. So I'm going to keep going and I'm going to switch over to this one because you get the idea of what I'm doing here. Next thing I'm going to do, and I have to say, I'm using Moody Mauve for this. And I'm going to stamp "Have a perfectly wonderful day, perfectly lovely day." Now, Moody Mauve is an in color that's going out. I really like this color, so I hate to see it go, but this happens every time. It will be going away pretty soon, so if you like it, and you have don't, and you're running low on paper, get the paper now. I regret not buying a whole lot more Evening Evergreen because I just loved that paper. I loved that color, and I would be using it for a couple of Christmas things if I had it. I have a little bit of it. I'm using it very sparingly. I think that's something that Stampin' Up! Would consider, or they should consider bringing back. Anyway, so you stamp it with the Moody Mauve, and then I just fussy cut it out around the edges. Also, I cut, let's see, we have this piece here, which is going to get glued on. Oh, this is one of those where we need our little glue gun. Because there's a lot of little bits here, but it's okay. I got it. But I am going to use the tweezers to position it. Yes, Connie, it will be fun, I think. Now you could put, you can't really put it on dimensionals because it's too tiny. And I mean, you'd have to use some really small pieces of dimensionals, and I guess you could, but this works just like this. Now, some of the dies that come with it, we have that, we have this, and there's this, which I had also stamped one of these, but I don't seem to. I think I must have knocked everything on the floor. Yep, there it is. There's that. But my background piece still isn't here. So what I did here for this is I got another piece of this paper, the pretty paper, and I just found a nice sky that I liked and cut it out with the dies and into this shape. And I put that on. That I did put on dimensionals just to make it kind of stand up a little bit. And I'm going to put this on dimensionals as well. But first, I'm going to use some of this ribbon. This is, oh, let's see, what is this called? Rustic striped ribbon. I'm just going to place a piece across here. I'm going to cut it more on an angle. Oh boy, that's not cutting very nicely at all. Definitely need fabric scissors or ribbon scissors to cut that. I want a piece. How about one? Okay, pull it, and then it works. And I'm going to use glue dots to stick that down. Bring it back, bring it around. Oops. Back down like that. There. Then this is going to go on dimensionals. Joey left me, I guess. He came up to see if he could weasel any treats out of me, and when he didn't get any, he took off. Little brat. Yeah, I haven't had him on for a while. But he doesn't like getting his picture taken, so. Okay, that's going to go there. Now I stamped this and die cut. I should have die cut it, and I should have stamped it and then die cut it, but I did it the wrong way. I die cut it and then stamped it, but it worked because it's going to get partially covered anyway. So I'm going to put these three pieces like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Stick a little dab of glue on the back. Now, for anybody who hasn't been on with me for a while, I will tell you when I get something like this, it looks aesthetically pleasing to not put a whole lot of glue on the back of it. However, I do put a lot of glue on it because I do not like to have loose pieces sticking up like that where somebody could end up ripping it when they put it in or take it out of the envelope. So I do pretty much glue it down. And that's it. That is what our card looks like. I think it's very pretty. I think it's a very pretty card. Um, I don't know if I explained it real well because I was confounding myself by losing things. And I don't know how I lost things because I thought I had everything sitting right here in my little, but I did. Okay. So let's do something on the inside of this one. I'm going to use the flake paper, and I know I messed up some people. He went to look for the snow. Yes. You know, I was supposed to meet my friend. Oh, good, Connie, you're making it along. I'm so glad. It was pretty when I saw it in the catalog. I did like it. So it made it easy to go ahead and just case the catalog this time around. Um I was supposed to meet a friend in Allentown on Friday. Actually, a couple of friends that I used to work with. And she's coming down. We get together every so often. She lives in Scranton, so we kind of figure Allentown's our halfway spot, and so we meet in Allentown. But of course, in Scranton, they have much worse weather than we do. So she called. She said to me, "It's looking like we might be getting some snow on Thursday or Friday." And I said, "Oh my gosh, no." So, yeah, we're going to have to cancel. I hate to do that, but we're retired. We don't have to be anywhere. So, it's kind of crazy to try and plague ourselves with this. Okay, folks, here's a teaching moment. I don't know if you can see this really well or not, but I got a ghost up here. Why did that happen? That happened because on this stamp, this is May the beauty of the season, fill your heart with joy. The the wording is way down low on the stamp and the top's really empty. So when I put it in the ink pad, that whole empty part on the top went in the ink pad. Now, what am I going to do about that? I don't want that to happen every time I stamp with this stamp, and it will. So, yeah, don't kid yourself. It will. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my little snips here, and I'm just going to go right ahead and snip all this extra rubber off of the top. It's not going to hurt the stamp because you don't need it. It's only making a hassle for you. So get rid of it, cut it off. So I'm going to trim all the excess off, and I'm going to try it again on the back. So much better. Except it's kind of crooked. And I'm trying to figure out exactly why that is. Okay, I got it. Sometimes when something like that happens, if you stamp it on your grid paper and see where exactly it went, um, you get a better idea of where you can place it in the future. So I messed that one up on both sides. So this time I'm going to be a little more careful, and I know that the whole bottom of this is exactly how I want this lined up. So that's perfect. And then I'm going to put, I'll use this wheat here, and I'll do it in wild wheat ink. Or I can stick the paper on that I cut off, which I said save. And I did put it aside so that I would have it. Yeah, here it is. Oh, and there's my inside piece. Oh, Okay. Yeah, that could go right down there. I got a little bit extra, so I'm just cut that off because I don't like that. Glue this on the inside, and we are good to go. Now, next card's a really easy one. Again, uncasing the catalog. I'm going to start out with wild wheat. Okay, there's that one. For a card base. And this one doesn't even use the pretty paper. This is, well, it does use some scraps. No, it doesn't. Okay. We have it our regular base, and I'm scoring it at 4 1/4. I'm talking to myself, folks. I'm sorry. I'm going to grab a piece of copper clay. This will be a scrap piece. If I can find a scrap piece, I know I have them in here. A whole bunch of them, actually. I just can't seem to grab them. Okay. Here. So I'm going to use copper clay, and I'm going to use mossy meadow. Again, I just need scraps of both of them. Now I have this because I was cutting it out to see what it was going to look like, and I think I'm going to use it. They don't. They just use a square. If my die, if my stamp fits in there, which is going to be grateful for you. And yes, it fits in there. So that's what I'm using. I'm going to use this piece. This is the inside of the die. I'm going to use in addition to my base, I'm using a piece of wild wheat that is 4 by 5 1/4. Now I'm going to use a scrap of this, but I want to stamp it first. This piece I can stamp and then cut too. So we'll just do that. Let's do our stamping. I'm taking the one that looks like a tree. And I have my mossy meadow. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a couple times with the tree stamp. And the other piece, just going to put dear friend and then cut that out with copper clay. Well, that one has a little bit of a ghost on it too, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to cut it off. Now this piece I want to be longer than this, and this is 3 1/4. I'm going to make this piece like 4 inches. That's what it is. Okay, I'm going to cut off a little bit here because I want to get mostly the tree pieces. And I don't really want it an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty good. There's that. And the dear friend part. Want that much shorter. Okay, I think I'm done cutting everything. Now I'm taking my wheat that I have here, taking my piece that's 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to use the wild wheat ink. I'm going to start. Now I'm just going to kind of randomly, but not so randomly, stamp these pieces. But I want them to go kind of up this way. So the longer ones are at the top. Okay, so it's kind of growing up like that. But then you fill in the rest. Now, a lot of this is going to get covered. So you don't have to worry too much about it, but you do want it filled in case it doesn't get covered. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Okay, like that. Again, it's ink, it's color on color. We're casing the catalog tonight. Okay, and we're going to put grateful for you. And I'm going to use this color. What was that? That was copper clay. Another one of those ink colors that are going away. So stock up if you like it. Now, a lot of times when I do a new stamp like this, I'm going to stamp it on my grid paper first, just to make sure I don't have those ghosts. Now, don't rock it, because if you rock it, you're going to get the ghost. See, this has a lot of extra junk here on the top. I have a knack for this. For what? Copying the catalog? Thanks, Karen. See, I got some there too. Just don't rock it, and you won't see that. If you have a lot of it, it might. So you might want to cut that off. But I think in this case, if you don't rock it, you'll be okay. And then we just, there it is. Perfect. Perfect. I love it. So we're going to take our front. Oh, that piece is too big. too long. I don't want it that long. So I'm going to cut it off maybe there. Then I'm going to take this one. I should have stamped that over further. So I'm going to re-stamp that on the back. Copper clay. And I got that ghost again. I did not rock it. I got the ghost anyway. Way too much stamp over here. Cutting it off. Line those two up like that. And then put this at the top. Still move that down a little bit. Okay. Okay, Brenda, the in colors, like not this year's in colors, but last year's in colors are going away. So that would be because they'll be coming out with new in colors. Not for a little while yet. We still have them good for till about I think March of next year. But what colors are going away is wild wheat, copper clay, boho blue, moody mauve, and pebbled path. So those are the in colors for, oh, they don't say the dates. No, but it was 2024, 2022, I think, to 2024. So when they come in with in colors, they put 5 new colors out with every annual catalog. And those 5 colors are here for 2 years. And at the end of 2 years, they discontinue them and they go away. And they bring out 5 more new colors. And they just do that as a way to keep things kind of fresh, you know, and to make sales, right? Okay, the grateful for you part I'm going to put up on dimensionals. Okay, then that whole thing is going to get glued onto this. And I have a really funny feeling that either some ribbon or some bling is going to have to be put on this too, because it's just, now this is how it is in the catalog. This is just pretty much how it looks in the catalog. But for my taste, it still needs something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of these neutral colored sequins and, well, let's see, either brown or gold up in here. That's better. So that one is a pretty simple one. But this one is a pretty wow one. Yeah, I do like that. That's a very pretty card, don't you think? Okay, that's it for tonight, folks. There's that's it. Thank you for joining me. Connie, I hope you got these done. I do like this one. I like that pretty much. That's a pretty nice one. And this one is just a very nice, simple one too. It still needs something. I don't know what yet. I'll figure it out. I think I might have to add a little maybe gold cord. Yes, actually, before I get off, I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is the gold cord that is out right now for Christmas, and it's very much like linen thread. It's that thin. It's nice and thin and little. Um, I like it. I like linen thread. I use that a lot. And so this is pretty much right up my alley. Oops. Except it's looser than linen thread. So, yeah, there it is. Just throw that right down there with a glue dot. Yep, that's what it needed. Okay, that jazzed it right up. I guess you just gotta use your bling, right? The gold thread, isn't that great, Connie? That just, yeah, that works. Well, I am so glad you got to make them with me, and I'm glad everybody liked them. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all again next week. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.